All right, so there is this place in which spiritually we can begin to come into being like this child of God while we're still um, partially children of the devil. So it's like there's something covering. This is the old Christian idea. This is the great idea? Is that it's like there's some sort of a grace. There's some sort of a something overlooking us. Well, what would we look like if we had been the perfect, only begotten child of the Father? Well, we would come down and do the will of the Father to our own detriment, you know, sacrificing all, you know, not my will be done, but yours be done. That's what we would say constantly, and you don't even have to be a Christian to do that. You can be a Muslim, you can be a Hindu, and you can have it in your heart to sacrifice all for the sake of truth, right? Even if you don't know what to call it. So thus, the thing that Christ said, that look, from this point forward, like, men will worship me in spirit, men and women, in spirit and in truth, right? So the idea being is like, I'm gonna, you know, there is grace. I can look past the fact that you may not understand how it all exists, but if there is within a person the desire to sacrifice all for the sake of the truth that shines forth from the unseen realm, not in the service of uh, some organization that can benefit me in the long run, because that can be done and it can look like you're serving the divine and you're really not. So it's like, but sometimes the divine wants you to serve some organization. So thus, we can't judge necessarily except by spiritual means, wherein the light may tell us something, but point being is you get the idea. So we begin to come in. I will sacrifice all for the sake of truth. All of my own desires for that which is best for what? Best for who? Best for the human family, and best for that portion of the human family that it has been put within my heart to serve. And what do I begin to become as I do this? I begin to become a father and a mother of those that I love and serve. So, and thus we enter into the patriarchal, into the order of the fathers. And of course, we can start right where we're at. It's like, because we do have biological children, some of us. Others have not been blessed with biological children, but they're not cast out. It says in there somewhere, the children of the eunuch shall be more than those of the more than natural born sons. So, but it takes this kind of sacred imagination. So that was what I wanted to convey this morning, is this idea that we can begin to connect things. We can also begin to look at other people as if they were Christ. In fact, the scriptures kind of indicate to us to do this. It's like that, you know, that when you've done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, you've done it unto me. So we look, and as we go through our days, we can start to say, this is what Mother Teresa did. She said she imagined serving Christ when she served this person who was picking maggots out of their festering sores. She was able to connect this person to Christ. Mother Teresa, right? And it's fascinating to me that nuns in the Catholic Church are called the brides of Christ. That's something redeeming about what they have. It's like, that's a good concept. We can also pretend that our very own broken husband We can serve him as if he were Christ. And if he's broken, if he has flaws, if he isn't completely given himself over to the devil, then we're able to see the Christ in him until he becomes like Christ. And we can do that for our wife, our child. And even if we are estranged from our own children, from our own loved ones, we can consciously, as we go out into the world, we can connect. It's like, oh, that's right, I'm a father, so I'm estranged from Billy, whoever this is, my son Billy. I see another man. So what? Well, there's probably some ways in which he's like Billy. And I try to connect in my mind so that I begin to have that oxytocin connection with this individual who has no biological connection to me. So I'll wrap this up because we're getting at the end of our 7 minutes or whatever. So through our very biology, if through imagination we can begin to make ties which are ties that will link us to the Father, to Jesus Christ, to the Father, to the fathers. And coming down the chain, that can link us to our own children, yes, but also our own children, and we bring in others, the others that we are called upon to serve, so that others may be like our very own children, and Christ, and the Father, and every good and holy man and woman. This is how the earth will be redeemed. In this way, through this particular type of love, earthly love, is not strong enough, I think. In another podcast, I'll talk about how to obtain more of that love which transcends death. Okay, and it has to do with suffering well, and not renouncing the people who cause us pain. I hope you've caught the vision a little bit through this series of the love of God and the power that it has to transform families, and particularly in the broader sense, well, I don't want to diminish the healing of families, the healing of families, yes, and the healing of the family of God. To this end, I dedicate my life, what time I have left. In the name of Jesus Christ, God bless you all. Goodbye.